By the time you reach this point, the work is already done. Not because you've learned everything there is to know, but because what failed has been removed. What collapses under pressure, what wastes effort, what cannot endure. This book never asked you to add more layers, more techniques, or intensity. It asked you to remove what does not survive contact until only what holds remains. You began asking whether your body could bear force without betraying itself. You learned how force must be accessed in correct order. You learned how it must travel through the body without loss. You learned that the nervous system governs what is allowed to be expressed. You learned how to see movement clearly without distortion. And you learned that physical law governs every exchange. You learned that decision survives only when cost is controlled. Chapter 8 exists because once all of that is understood, something fundamental changes. The body stops arguing with itself, and this chapter is not about mechanics. It's about integration. A living architecture is not rigid. It's coherent. Structure does not feel like something you must hold together. It feels like stability that does not demand attention. Movement no longer feels like technique being executed. It feels like an expression that survives contact. Decisions no longer feel urgent. They feel settled. This is why mastery looks quiet. There is no excess motion, no wasted effort, no internal hesitation. Not because anything is being restrained, but because nothing extra is required. A living system adapts without collapse. It yields without losing integrity. It absorbs force and returns it without strain. This is not a fixed state you reach and you keep. It's a process you maintain through attention. The moment integration hardens into rigidity, decay begins. The moment clarity turns into habit, errors return. Living systems remain functional through awareness. This is why biomechanics is not merely something you study. It is a language. And once that language is internalized, you stop translating. You move. Combat is never about overwhelming another body. It's about not being defeated by your own. A body that understands itself does not rush. It does not panic. It does not force outcomes. It adapts. What remains is simple. A system that bears force without collapse. A system that moves without waste. A system that decides without delay. A system that stays whole under pressure. Chapter 8 does not tell you where to go next. It shows you what is possible when understanding becomes lived functions. Not stronger, not faster, clear. And clarity is what endures. This is not the end of the path. It is the point where understanding stops being something you hold and becomes something you live. The architecture is now yours. Keep it alive.